We all know third-party cookies are being phased out, and their replacement is first-party data. But gathering consent for this data, managing it across all your systems, and creating unique experiences for your customers can be somewhat of a challenge. Governmental changes, such as GDPR and CCPA, have made it increasingly more difficult to find a steady balance between privacy and personalization. Let me show you how OneTrust, a leading consent management platform, and mParticle, a leading customer data platform, have partnered together to help you capture, centralize, govern, and sync consent data, all while keeping transparency and trust at the forefront of your customer interactions. Take a look. We've all seen that consent prompt spammed across every web page that we visit. Here's what happens after we hit that accept button. First, consent and preference data is collected and centralized in OneTrust platform. OneTrust then syncs that data over to mParticle, where it's stored in a user profile. From mParticle, both privacy and marketing consent can be toggled between various different integrations. Let me show you how easy it is to set this up. From the directory page in mParticle, let's search for OneTrust. Hit the setup button and enable the event integration. We'll name this integration and jump over to the connections page. For the connections flow, let's start with our web page, since this is where we're collecting consent. So we select the web input, and for the output, we select OneTrust. We'll now configure some mappings of the consent attributes from OneTrust to attributes in mParticle. Let's jump over to OneTrust and grab the ID for targeting and marketing, and map them to analytics and marketing. And now we add the connection. So now that everything's configured and ready to go, let's see it in action. Here we are shopping for some shoes. We see the banner here. For now, let's ignore consent. Jumping into the mParticle live stream, I'll take a look at the user profile for my demo user. Down here, I can see that consent is set to false because I ignored the prompt. I'll go back and configure my consent for both marketing and analytics. Now let's recheck the demo profile in mParticle. I can now see that the consent is set to true. So now that we have consent collected in mParticle, let's see how we can control its flow. Let's configure a flow to send data to Google Analytics. We'll start by selecting Connections and Connect. My input again is our website, and our output is Google Analytics. Here under Compliance, I can see the forwarding rules. Let's set the criteria for GDPR to send data when analytics consent is given. Not only can you configure what gets forwarded, you can also configure rules for audiences with consent in mind. Take a look. Let's go to Audiences and create a new audience. We'll add in some users and catalog them by consent. Let's select GDPR, given consent and marketing, and done. With this integration, consent decisions made in the OneTrust UI are tied to persistent customer profiles in mParticle, where they can be used to control how, when, and where customer data gets shared with our over 300 plus integrations. Check out a free trial of mParticle today to get started. Thanks for watching.